Support for this episode comes from Modern Football Technology. Modern Football Technology provides real-time opponent tendencies and self-scout while eliminating manual data entry into Huddle, DV Sport, and Exos. If you're tired of tools that are time-consuming to learn and perform inconsistently at best, then we recommend Modern Football for a fresh perspective. Schedule a demo today at teammofo.com to see a battle-tested tool that's proven to perform and deliver value. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code CC10 to receive 10% off your first year. And listen to our recent episode featuring Folsom High School defensive coordinator Jordan Ersick to learn more about how the 2023 California State Champion uses modern football to dominate their opponents.
Our two movement goals are to buy one more second, because 1 second can change the world. Those of us who've been involved in football for a long time understand the truth of that. 1 second can change the world. 1 second can change a game. 1 second can change a season. A quarterback buying himself one more second to make a play and then making that play can absolutely change the fates of an entire season, can change the fates of a coaching career, can change the fates of everything within that program.
In this week's clinic segment from Lawrence First and Goal, Toledo co-offensive coordinator and QB coach Robert Weiner shares insight into quarterback play as it relates to movement and the pocket. In the world of thousands of cool-looking drills on video and social media, Coach Weiner boils it down to essential movements to be taught that encompass everything that a quarterback has to do in the pocket. While the drills are simple, the movement patterns take time to develop, and Coach Weiner explains the two umbrellas of QB movement, slides and spacing, as well as the four movements that he has identified through study. He believes it is all a mathematical equation of if-then elements. While his perspective is through the lens of a QB coach, the approach to skill development is something all position coaches can learn from. Coach Weiner is in his fourth season as the Rockets' co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. He came to Toledo after 16 seasons as the head coach at Plant High School in Tampa, Florida, where he won 4 state championships, had 2 runner-up finishes, and earned 14 consecutive district titles from 2005 through 2018. His record during that tenure at Plant was 172, 37-1, with a 42-10 record in playoff games. He does a great job in his approach to the game, the way he teaches it, the way he develops his players both on and off the field, and I know you will enjoy this short segment on the QB mathematical equation from Coach Weiner. What you see on tape is a direct reflection of what you teach and how you teach. Video is important, but if you don't teach well, you're not going to like what you see on your video. First Down Playbook has been helping coaches teach better for 13 years. It allows you to present installs, playbooks, and practice cards in half the time with NFL quality. Coaching tools like video pairing, a player app, practice schedules, and wristband sheets have made First Down Playbook a program management system with everything in one place. If you're in a position of leadership with your football program, receive a free 1-week look at First Down Playbook. Call them at 512-814-6158 or visit them on their website or social media. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code COACH24 to receive a $100 discount off the normal $700 First Down Playbook team membership price. Links and the phone number are in the show notes.
Really honored to be here. I've been a friend of Coach Luce for a while. I was a high school coach for 35 years in Tampa, Florida. Now I'm the co-offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at the University of Toledo. And during my time as a high school coach, I spent a lot of time taking my young man on our football team to a camp for children with muscular dystrophy. And I've actually been involved in that camp myself for 40 years. So understanding kind of the cause and all that the Luce family has been through and what Lawrence First and Goal is all about, like it's really an honor for me to be a part of this whole thing. And I've watched this thing from afar from a long time. So The idea of talking about quarterback play is something I love and I'm passionate about, but I'll tell you the truth, like in high school, down where I was at Plant High School in Tampa, Florida, we won 4 state championships. And if someone asked me the question, like, would I give back the 4 state championships, or would I give back the time that I had taking my young people to this camp for children with muscular dystrophy? I would give back the state championships in a heartbeat before I'd give back that time in muscular dystrophy. So I think maybe that just shows a little bit about the importance of what these priorities really are. And I know we all get involved in a business in which the competitiveness is great. And sometimes there's a lot of pressure to win and be successful, but never want to lose the big picture. I think whenever we all go to clinics or participate in clinics, start thinking about like, how much can I cover in 45 minutes to 50 minutes? Or do you want to cover something maybe more specific and cover it more detailed? So that's what I'm going to do today. I kind of titled this and the thing, quarterback play, the mathematical equation. And really what I'm going to focus on is I'm going to focus on quarterback movement in the pocket and how I teach that to our guys and how that's made a complete difference in what it is that we're doing at the University of Toledo and what I did at Plant High School and what I was doing with my guys there for many years. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And when I say the mathematical equation for us, it's very clear as to what exactly this is for our guys. Now, the clarity of what I'm going to teach you today might seem even kind of simple and rudimentary a little bit, but the truth is that it takes about 3 years to master these things. So my current quarterback started for us last year, Daquan Finn. He's now going into his 4th year of playing with us at Toledo. And the quarterback, Tucker Gleason, who also played a lot for us this past year, especially in the second half of the season when DQ got a little bit banged up, is a quarterback who played for me also in high school down in Tampa, Florida. So Tucker's been kind of in this part of our system for about 6 years, and DQ's going on his 4th year. So if you would have asked me to do this clinic probably a year and a half ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it because I probably wouldn't have had film to be able to show what it is that we're actually talking about, because my guys at Toledo hadn't quite mastered this task yet because it takes some time. This mathematical equation is very understandable. It's easy to grasp, but you have to go through hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of film in order for them to see how this is going to work. And then you have to do drill work, and then it has to translate into live performance. So we're going to talk about this. So there's probably, other than this kind of, PowerPoint as well, there's probably some nuggets here that I'm going to try to throw in that might even be more worthwhile than some of the things that are on the PowerPoint. So just kind of pick that up as you go. For us, the whole play of quarterback is a mathematical equation. I mean, I think I, by trade, was an English teacher and not a math teacher. So the understanding of quarterback play as art and the abstract element of that, I get that as well. I think it's part science, probably more physics than anything else. It's part math and it's part art. And I think you put all those things together with someone who's passionate about what they're doing and has great leadership skills, and you have an idea of getting a quarterback who can take you to great places. So I'm going to go through a couple of things with you here as we go.
As coaches, we know that some of the biggest hurdles to our team's success can come from off the field. Your team needs support to tackle the endless list of expenses, uniforms, training equipment, travel, and more. But raising that money can feel like a full-time job. Thankfully, there's Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with your team every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser. With options for online donations, digital discount cards, premium product sales, and even spirit shops, Vertical Raise has top-of-the-line solutions for every fundraising style. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com and we'll get you connected with an exclusive offer on your first fundraiser.
For me, before I even get to this first slide, what I'm going to talk about today is kind of 2 umbrellas of quarterback movement. And there's one umbrella that I call slides, and there's one umbrella that I call spacing. And those are 2, they're part and parcel of the same thing, but there's also great differences. And the kids need to understand the differences as to what goes on. When I'm talking about movement, I'm talking about specific movements based upon what the defensive pressure is giving us. And so this is where the mathematical equation comes in. If the defense does this, we do this. If the defense does that, we do that. So there's various things that go along with that. That's the first umbrella. That's slides. That's based upon that mathematical equation. Spacing is a little bit of a different umbrella. Spacing is that we are in the pocket and we are getting pressure and we are starting to realize that we have a receiver coming open within 1 second. And all we have to do is to create some space for ourselves to be able to get the throw off in time, even though we're not going to arrest the movement of the defender. So those two things are different things. So if we talk about the slide category, when we talk about slides, there are 4 basic slides that we're going to talk about. And we talk about spacing. Spacing's just one kind of big thing in and of itself. All right. So if you look at the goals here, the movement goals, there's really only 2. The first 2 parts here are 2 movement goals, and my quarterbacks can spit this out like mantra. Our 2 movement goals are to buy 1 more second, because 1 second can change the world. Those of us who've been involved in football for a long time understand the truth to that. 1 second can change the world. 1 second can change a game. 1 second can change a season. A quarterback buying himself 1 more second to make a play and then making that play can absolutely change the fates of an entire season, can change the fates of a coaching career, can change the fates of everything within that program. So we are going to try to understand this footwork and this movement in order for us to buy 1 more second, because 1 second can change the world. And I often talk to them about this in terms of like their own lives. Man, if you're driving in a car, are you driving safely or are you distracted for 1 second? And how 1 second can change the world negatively, or how 1 second can change your world positively because you were paying attention and you were able to move out of the way. Or in a worldly picture, how 1 second in world events can change the world. And then the second thing that we want to do is we're going to work to get back to platform throwing position whenever possible. So as we move through the pocket, for me, platform throwing position does not necessarily mean in the cocoon of the pocket. Platform throwing position means that I can get my anchor, and anchor for us means that if you're right-handed, that your right foot is under your right hip with your weight on the inside edge of your right foot. That is platform throwing position. A platform throw is a throw in which I can exchange my shoulders. My right shoulder is going to end up where my left shoulder is. If you're an old school quarterback coach and you believe in the 3 cameras, the camera on the front shoulder, at takeaway, the camera on the belly button, at release, and the camera at follow through on the back shoulder, that's exchanging the shoulders. So any throw that you can make where you can get your anchor, set your right foot under your right hip on the inside edge of that foot, and you can still exchange the shoulders, that is a platform throw. Platform throws, without any doubt, are way, 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 way higher percentage of consistency and accuracy and a higher percentage chance of success. So buying ourselves 1 more second, because 1 second can change the world, and working to return to a platform throwing position where I can throw the highest percentage chance of me throwing a completion and having success. The third part there talks about the chaos and the calm. This is very much related to like being in a hurricane. I am from Tampa, Florida. I have been in many hurricanes. I know what they're like. When the storm is hitting, it is complete chaos. When you're in the eye of the storm, it is complete calm. When the storm has left, it is complete calm after that. We have to get our quarterbacks to understand that they're going to get all this chaotic world with these defensive linemen and linebackers and blitzing safeties and defensive backs coming at them. That is the chaos. But if you understand the answer to the mathematical equation, you can put yourself into a position and then throw calmly. A lot of quarterbacks respond to the chaos with panic and continue to panic when they throw, and that comes up with terrible results. Fourth thing there is our awkward throw rules. Sometimes we can't get back to platform position and we have to make an awkward throw. What does an awkward throw mean to me? An awkward throw is when we can't set our anchor, we can't get our right foot under our right hip, and we can't exchange the shoulders because of the pressure that we're being given. That happens sometimes. Think Aaron Rodgers flicking the ball. Think Patrick Mahomes from all different kinds of body angles and that sort. When that happens, a quarterback has to know the physics and the dynamics of his moving body and has to use the further extension of his arm to get that throw back to his target. When do I have to give it more with my arm because I have no body? When do I have to bring my arm across my body because I know my body is drifting to the right here and I'm not able to set myself on platform? And then finally, balance making a play with self-preservation. So we teach our guys how to get back to this platform throwing and how to move as we go. And then we teach them at the end that you can stay in and make that full throw and pull your body away from the pressure that's coming. Difference between a head-on collision that could have fatal results and a collision in which both masses, your body and the defensive body, are moving in the same direction. Quarterback might still get tackled, but he's going to get tackled as his momentum's taking in the same direction as the defensive player. So let's get started. Let's get into this a little bit. Take a look at some of these things. I think overall, I have a saying that I use in my own life and a saying that I wrote for myself, but I think we have something that I think is really good. An honest man on a genuine journey will always end up where he's supposed to be, I think is something that applies to a lot. I try to sometimes give it to recruits who are frustrated and tell them that stay true to your search. And then I've tried to stay true to mine, and hopefully you all are doing that as well. Okay, so our first one, these are slides. The 4 basic slides, and if you're taking notes out there, you can take a couple notes now. The 4 basic slides are, I'm going to tell you right now, step, slide, step. Step, slide, step. Step is a climb forward. Slide is a slide move, always with your back foot first, is a slide move into pressure, and step is to step forward again. Think of Peyton Manning, not the greatest athlete in the world, but has had footwork that really, along with his intelligence, has put him in the Hall of Fame. But this footwork is what allowed him to get to that point. Now, when do we do a step, slide, step? We do a step, slide, step when we have outside blocked pressure. You have to respond. A lot of these things that I'm going to show you, you guys are going to look at this film and say like, oh, well, my quarterback does that already. Some of this is instinctual, but a lot of it's not. And that's why it takes like 3 years for them to learn this. So number 1 is step, slide, step. Number 2, which I'm going to get to in a moment, is slide, climb, climb. Slide, climb, climb. Slide, climb, climb is responding to interior pressure. If you get any kind of interior pressure from a defensive tackle or from a twisting defensive end, from a linebacker blitzing, interior pressure, blocked or unblocked, our answer is slide, climb, climb. The third one is if we get outside blocked pressure, which might sound very similar to step, slide, step, but that outside block pressure is actually going to be on our body, on our frame. They're going to make contact with us. We are going to do what we call a duck move, which in essence is a step, slide, step, but it's a duck move in which we are going to protect the ball, give the defender the large of our back, and be able to take a move that moves 1 yard up and 1 yard out and puts us in a cocoon potential to throw. And then the fourth one in slides is a flush move. If we get a free, unblocked outside rusher, a free, unblocked outside rusher, we are going to flush right or spin flush left. And I'll get to the specifics of that. Those are our 4 slides. There are really not too many other circumstances of pressure that we're getting from one singular guy. Now, many times we get pressure from more than one guy, but pressure that we're getting from one singular guy, those are the 4 pressures that we get in the mathematical equations that we apply.
Here are our winning edge takeaways and ideas for implementation. 1. Create drills that are 100% relevant to what happens in the game. These drills will be most engaging and create a sense of urgency in learning the skills they teach because of their game application. Any play or scenario will have a limited set of movement patterns, reactions, and decisions. Figure out what those are in your offense, defense, and special teams, and create the drills that apply to those. Throw out all of the rest. There's only a limited amount of time and repetitions available in practice. Do not waste practice opportunities on things that look cool but have very little game application. 2. Embrace the fact that skill development takes time. Coach Weiner pointed out that his first couple of years would not have provided great game film for this presentation because his Toledo QBs were still developing those movement patterns. Use practice film in addition to game film to coach it and emphasize the improvement while continuing to refine it in practice. 3. What you teach on the football field can relate to life as well. In his presentation, Coach Weiner used the importance of 1 second and how it applies not only to football but to life. We probably should always link the lessons of football back to life. We have these guys for a limited time, but we can make an impact by teaching them lessons they carry with them beyond the gridiron. The link to Coach Weiner's entire presentation with drill and game film is in the description. Please be sure to go to coachingcoordinator.com for our enhanced show notes and sign up for our weekly newsletter, which shares the best ideas of the previous week. Follow us on Twitter at Coach K. Grabowski.